Tonight, a Manitoba manhunt is over.
Priority was to find her first, safe and sound, which we did, and priority number 2 was locating him, taking him into custody.
How a community tip helped police end the frantic search for an abducted woman. Also tonight, no appeal for the Parker lands.
We've been, dealing with this for several years. It's behind us. Now we move ahead.
What the end of a lengthy legal battle means for the future of this housing project. Plus, Go Canada Go!
To really create the energy around curling as a whole and supporting Team Canada along the way.
How Winnipeg is getting into the spirit as the Winter Olympic Games get underway.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Marilee Caruso.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The man at the center of a dangerous person alert issued by RCMP yesterday has been arrested. But more importantly, the 20-year-old woman he abducted at knife point has been found safe. Standing by live with the latest on how this manhunt ended is CTV's John Hendricks. So, John, what can you tell us about the suspect's arrest?
Marilee, RCMP tracked down 39-year-old Joshua Papanicus this morning about 24 hours after that dangerous person alert was put out, lighting up cell phones across the province. And that arrest was thanks to a caller's tip to police. Mounties from both Manitoba and Saskatchewan descended on Pimicikamak Cree Nation yesterday morning, following a hammer attack at a home there. Now, following that attack, police say Papanicus abducted a 20-year-old woman at knife point. Now, as you can imagine, this led to a lot of concern for her safety, which prompted a large-scale police search.
Ideally, it's the outcome we wanted. Priority was to find her first, safe and sound, which we did, and priority number 2 was locating him, taking him into custody, really without incident. So I like to say, in my opinion, in our opinion, it's the best outcome possible.
Police say the extensive investigation involved door-to-door searches, drones, and even an emergency response team and search plane from Saskatchewan. However, after receiving a caller's tip, officers were led to a home in Pimicikamak this morning where Joshua Papanicus was arrested just after 11 a.m. Police say the woman, who CTV is no longer naming, was found in the home with minor injuries. She was taken to the nursing station as a precaution, and RCMP are thanking the public for their help.
A positive outcome like this is attributable to the work or the effort put into the community and providing that information to us. And it's really no different on anything. We solve crimes better when people provide that information to police.
Police say the two were a couple at one time and are classifying the incident as intimate partner violence. Mounties add that the suspect was arrested without incident.
John, do police know what motivated this?
Marilee, RCMP say they do not yet know the motive behind the abduction. Officers with Major Crime Services continue to investigate in the community.
All right, thanks for this, John. A firefighter has been injured and taken off duty after battling a blaze on Nairn Avenue this morning. Firefighters were called to a vacant house fire just after 1 a.m. in the 300 block of Nairn Avenue. It took crews about 3 hours to get the fire under control, and in the process, one firefighter was injured. The firefighter was treated by paramedics on scene. The building sustained severe damage, and the city says an emergency demolition is now being arranged. Crews also responded to a house fire in the 400 block of Magnus Avenue just after 5 this morning. They were greeted by heavy smoke and flames. The occupants of the home were able to safely evacuate themselves, and no injuries were reported. Both of the fires remain under investigation. The court fight over the Parker lands development is finally over tonight. Yesterday, the Supreme Court of Canada denied a request to appeal the case filed by developer Gem Equities. This after the city had a $5 million judgment against it overturned by the Manitoba Court of Appeal. Gem Equities accused the city of deliberately delaying the project. Standing by with all of these details is CTV's Jeff Keel. So, Jeff, now that the court has concluded, what's next?
It appears after years of debates, disagreements, and disputes, the focus now getting hundreds of housing units built. The sign for the Fulton Grove development in the Parker lands is weathered and tagged with graffiti. It's as old as the legal battles over this property, which are now all over.
We've been, dealing with this for several years. It's behind us.
In 2023, a judge ordered the city to pay $5 million to Gem Equities, finding 2 city planners purposely stalled the development. But the Manitoba Court of Appeal overturned that decision. And on Thursday, leave to appeal to the Supreme Court of Canada was denied. Mayor Scott Gillingham believes this is a vindication for the city and a win for taxpayers.
Whenever we can win a court case and get costs, then that's the taxpayers, recovering or getting some of their money back. So I'm really glad.
Gem Equities owner Andrew Marquez says while he is disappointed by the Supreme Court's decision, he is grateful for the court system, saying without it, this project wouldn't be moving forward. In 2018, a judge ordered a public hearing on the development be held and later found the city in contempt.
This wasn't about a legal battle. It wasn't about winning an award from the city. It was always about building housing.
That housing will include 1,900 units on 47 acres with a mixture of apartments, condos, townhouses, and single-family homes.
A community that's located close to rapid transit that would appeal to literally all walks of Winnipeggers.
Now that court is adjourned, the mayor says the city's focus is on helping turn these piles of dirt into homes.
I want to see these properties developed. It's a time when we need housing in the city of Winnipeg.
Just to give you an idea of how far back this saga goes, plans for Fulton Grove started in 2013.
That's a long time. Any idea when we could see shovels in the ground then?
Marquez says they are in the tendering process for the underground and road work right now. And if things go well, he says you might even see housing construction late summer, early fall, and even maybe some people start moving in by spring of 2027.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Jeff. Winnipeg police have seized nearly $200,000 in drugs along with guns and cash following an investigation last month. The Guns and Gangs Unit executed 2 search warrants on January 28th, one at a business in the 300 block of Nassau Street North, the other at a home on William Tweed Terrace. They found cocaine, fentanyl, raw marijuana, and other illicit drugs in the searches. Police also seized 24,000 contraband cigarettes, more than $8,300 in cash, 2 guns, and 5 watches worth about $70,000 combined. 3 men, aged 23, 38, and 39, are facing a slew of drug and weapons-related charges. A 27-year-old woman is also facing drug charges. Well, the Winter Olympics officially got underway today with the opening ceremonies taking place in Milan, Italy. And here in Manitoba, a number of sports clubs and bars are gearing up to celebrate. CTV's Joseph Bernacki has more on the Winter Olympic faithful.
Inside the East St. Paul Curling Club, dozens of seniors take the ice for a friendly league match. Regulars here say it's fun to see how their game stacks up against Olympians on the world stage.
When you see it on TV and you're doing it too, you think you can do what they do and you try it. It's a fun. It's a lot of fun.
In the Olympics and stuff like that, you see all these pros doing their bit, and go Canada, go.
Bill Funk and Gerald Tazarski curl multiple times a week. Both men say they'll have their eyes glued to the competition overseas. The Winter Olympics gives them an extra sense of camaraderie among friends right now.
We watch all the curling. I love all the skiing and the sledding and all that. Big hockey fan. Curling, absolutely. Just love the Winter Olympics.
Curling Club General Manager Rob Mall says there's a buzz in the air at the rink. They are encouraging curlers to dress up in all Canadian colors, and Olympic trivia is featured on site. Mall says it's another opportunity to grow the sport with other generations.
We really anticipate an Olympic bump. It's going to reach people that don't normally watch your sport. And what we're also doing is towards the end of the Olympics, we're doing a Try Curling event here at the Curling Club as well. So if people watched it on TV, they have an opportunity to come and try it.
And it's not just creating a buzz for sports clubs. Inside Elephant and Castle, General Manager Dwight Benson says he hopes to extend their hours for the Canadian hockey crowd. They would have to open earlier to accommodate the time difference in Italy.
We're going to be opening for all the Canada games. So if they make it to the gold medal game, we'll be open at that 7:40 slot, and we're going to be open for the Thursday game on the 12th for 8 o'clock.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
No word yet if Manitoba will follow Saskatchewan's lead and consider serving booze as early as 5 a.m. We have plenty more from the Winter Olympics coming up a little later in the show. For now, though, let's check in with Colleen Brady and get a first look at our weekend Skywatch forecast. How's it shaping up, Colleen?
It's going to be mild. We had a bit of a dip today. The trade-off, though, is that the sunshine returned. We had a cold front that moved over Manitoba yesterday after we had those soaring temperatures. Not many warm weather records, by the way. I'll get to that a little later on. Certainly no warm weather records set today, but as we move into the weekend, temperatures will be rising actually already overnight, and then the weekend will be quite nice, and then some pretty nice temperatures ahead next week as well. The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution in Winnipeg right now. It's minus 16 degrees. It feels like minus 23 with the wind chill. Thanks to those winds out of the northeast at 12 kilometers an hour, the pressure is dropping, and the humidity right now merrily is 64%.
Thanks, Colleen. A Winnipeg police holiday blitz aimed at cracking down on retail theft has bagged dozens of arrests and nearly 200 criminal charges. The Safe Shop Project deployed additional officers in December to retail areas in a push to curb criminal activity. Police say 72 people were arrested through the initiative, which started in 2024. 7 of the top 10 most wanted for retail thefts were also arrested, resulting in 85 charges. Police recovered more than $23,000 in stolen property. The Manitoba Children's Museum says it is at a critical turning point in its history due to a drop in admissions and some significant financial deficits. The museum is being forced to make some major changes. The museum is hiking admission rates, closing 2 days a week and ending a pilot project which gave free admission to Indigenous attendees. Officials say they've been forced to make these moves because of lagging attendance since the pandemic and costly maintenance to the historic building. The museum also hopes it will be able to get more support from donors, and they'd really like Manitobans to come back for a visit. A corner grocery store in Winnipeg's downtown is closed. Ashdown Market opened 3 years ago and was one of the only places to buy groceries in the exchange. And tonight, its owners say crime has played a part in emptying its shelves. CTV's Harrison Shin explains.
Household stuff was right here in the middle. Produce.
For 3 years, this empty space was filled with groceries, Slurpees, and more. But now, the Ashdown Market is closed for business, and co-owner Josh Giesbrecht says safety became a factor over time.
We started to see a steady decline in traffic, specifically people coming to the neighborhood within Winnipeg. We saw a huge drop, and that goes to all the crime and public safety concerns that downtown Winnipeg has unfortunately been experiencing.
He started the business as a cannabis shop, but later added a grocery section serving a neighborhood with few options.
I am sad to see them go because, Point Douglas Exchange District does continue to face some food insecurities.
Area Councillor Vivian Santos says while the city has been working to address the safety concern, more should be done.
Needless to say, it's still not an excuse for, our Exchange District residents. The fear there is real.
For a worker at a neighboring coffee shop, it's going to be tough without the market.
We often rely on Ashdown Market for emergency groceries, if we need to pick up milk or tomatoes in a pinch. So them leaving is going to be a bit of a bummer for us.
Giesbrecht says the market also hosted Lucy's Comedy Club, named after his dog, and he will try to find the club a new home in Winnipeg. He says while the safety issues became serious, he is also ready to move on.
We wanted to set off the alarm that the downtown issues are serious. We wanted people to know we're thankful. We're not angry or bitter or anything like that. We're very thankful we got the chance.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Selkirk residents can expect to see a higher tax bill this year. The city's 2026 budget shows taxes are increasing by nearly 3%. Municipal officials are calling attention to the fact its tax hike is lower than what Winnipeg or Brandon residents are facing. The budget also highlighted more spending commitments for transportation infrastructure, road resurfacing projects, and the development of a new rec center.
To be able to be here when the people of Greenland are concerned and anxious is wonderful.
Coming up, a show of solidarity with the people of Greenland. Taking a look at the markets tonight, the price of oil saw a modest jump, as did the Canadian dollar. Gold gained more than $90 U.S. an ounce. The TSX rose 476 points. The Dow Jones soared more than 1,200 points, while the Nasdaq added 490 points. New job numbers show a drop in the unemployment rate across Canada last month, despite job losses. Data from Statistics Canada shows about 25,000 jobs were cut in January, largely from the private sector and in part-time work. Well, despite the losses, Stats Canada says the unemployment rate still dropped to 6.5%. And that's because of fewer people working or looking for work. January's numbers mark the first net loss of jobs nationwide since August last year. Meantime, Manitoba's unemployment rate climbed in January and now sits in the middle of the pack compared to other provinces. According to Statistics Canada, the jobless rate in our province rose to 6.3% last month. That's up from 5.7% in December. A court-approved extension is giving some federal Indian day school settlement claimants more time to submit missing information. A settlement agreement was approved in 2019 for people who attended Indian day schools managed by the federal government. Many of the students experienced trauma and in some cases abuse, according to the federal government. The claim process ended in 2023, but a federal court has extended the deadline to submit missing information to existing claims by March. More information is available on indiandayschools.com. Starting this summer, federal public servants will be back in the office more often.
I just find this just insulting and disrespectful to be doing this to public servants after everything we've gone through the past few months. And I don't understand how this mandate is increasing productivity in the public service. I think it's only going to hinder it.
The union says it's been kept in the dark when it comes to government decisions around remote work and adds it doesn't think there's enough office space to accommodate all of the employees. Starting on May 4th, executives will have to be in the office 5 days a week. That's up from the current 4. And starting July 6th, all other employees will be required on site for a minimum of 4 days a week, up from 3. Well, the White House is facing bipartisan fury tonight after posting and then deleting a video depicting Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. That post, not shown here, was made on Trump's Truth Social account. The White House tells NBC News it was posted erroneously by a staffer. White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt defended the video at first, saying it was from an internet meme and calling the response fake outrage. But some of that outrage came from Republicans. Senator Tim Scott posted, quote, praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. Trump has not apologized for the post, but it has now been removed, and the Obamas have yet to comment. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand was in Greenland's capital city today for the official opening of a Canadian consulate. It's being welcomed as a show of solidarity for the Danish-held Arctic territory amid threats from Washington. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
This Canadian consulate was promised more than a year ago, and the Foreign Affairs Minister here to open it wouldn't directly answer when I asked her if she was concerned doing so could anger the Trump administration. And with that, the Canadian consulate in Greenland's capital is officially open.
To be able to be here when the people of Greenland are concerned and anxious is wonderful.
More than 100 people here, including members of the Coast Guard and a large number of Canadian Inuit who want to show they support Greenlanders in the face of Donald Trump's threats.
It's quite emotional. It's a great feeling. It's good to be here. Unity, Inuit, together, standing united.
As Inuit, we are one people. It doesn't matter which country we're from, we're all the same.
Now, Global Affairs Canada won't let us inside to actually show you what the interior of the consulate looks like, but we know that the Government of Canada shares this building with Iceland. There are not many countries that have a consulate here in Nuuk. France is also opening one.
I say congratulations to Canada. I think it's a smart move.
Many in Greenland still feel uneasy, even though the Trump administration has backed off threats to take over. CTV News asked a retired U.S. diplomat involved in the opening of the American consulate in Nuuk during the first Trump administration whether Canada's increased presence now could anger Trump.
Well, I think it's worth it. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a move that should be taken as threatening by the United States, certainly in any way.
While the consulate was promised more than a year ago, there is still no permanent consul in place here. The Foreign Affairs Minister didn't have much to offer about that. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Nuuk, Greenland.
The truck driver behind the deadly 2018 Humboldt Broncos bus crash is now one step closer to being deported to India. According to his lawyer, the Immigration and Refugee Board has rejected Jasikrat Sidhu's bid to stay in Canada as a refugee. That puts Sidhu one step closer to being deported. Sidhu was behind the wheel of a semi-trailer in Saskatchewan in April of 2018 when it collided with a bus carrying the Humboldt Broncos hockey team. 16 people were killed in the crash and more than a dozen others were injured. It's been almost a week since the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show anchor Savannah Guthrie. And tonight, her family is renewing their plea for her captors to reach out after several purported ransom notes were received.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
The video was posted hours after police say they believe Guthrie to still be alive. Ransom notes sent to several media outlets are also being investigated. The investigation is being conducted alongside the FBI, which has issued a $50,000 reward for information on the case. Officials say Guthrie was last seen January 31st having dinner with family before being dropped back home. She was reported missing the next day. Italy welcomes the world as it kicks off the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics. We are going to take you there after the break.
Mild temperatures ahead throughout the Long Range for Winnipeg. Now on Sunday, cloudy. There is a chance of freezing rain in the afternoon. It's not a high chance, but it's still possible. Up to -1. Temperature holding steady Sunday night at -2. 0 on Monday to start the work week. For most of us anyway. Increasing clouds. -4 on Tuesday. Still cloudy. More of a mix of sun and cloud by the midweek with temperatures peaking at -2 by Thursday.
While some preliminary athletic events have already been taking place, tonight marked the official kickoff to the 2026 Winter Olympic Games. Opening ceremony festivities took place at several sites across northern Italy, and CTV's Scott Hurst was following all of the action.
More than 200 Canadian athletes are stepping onto the world stage, led by flag bearers Quebec's Michael Kingsbury and BC's Marielle Thompson. Both athletes, previous Olympic champions, as Canada's team eyes more podium appearances. The opening ceremony is a stunning display of culture and sport, with the host nation always mixing in its own flavor, and Italy sure has a rich history to show off as Milano Cortina welcomes the world. And for the first time in Olympic history, the ceremony takes place across multiple venues in separate cities in a widespread yet unified event, with San Siro Olympic Stadium in Milan serving as the central hub.
They'll emphasize Italy, naturally. Music, dance, arts, they have a lot to work with.
Even before the pomp and ceremony to officially kick off 17 days of sport and spectacle, Canadian athletes have already begun making their mark. Quebec's Francis Jobin soaring into the big air final. He'll have a shot at the podium on Saturday in his Olympic debut. The husband and wife mixed doubles curling team of Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant are now 3-1, winning their first 3 matches before falling to the Americans. And Canadians sit 5th after day 1 of the Olympic figure skating team event. The competition kicks into high gear tomorrow with the first medals being awarded. And after the first match was postponed on Thursday, the Canadian women's hockey team will begin its pursuit of back-to-back Olympic gold medals. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
As Scott mentioned, the opening ceremony took place across several venues, and as CTV's Heather Butts reports, that same spread-out setup will also define the athletic competition at this year's Games.
Meeting this crew from the Netherlands, already a highlight for Ontario's Marga Wilson during her Olympic experience.
Bucket list, definitely. To see all the different athletes from all the different countries is so exciting.
The Olympic motto, after all, is about celebrating the unifying power of sport.
I'm hoping Canada goes gold, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you met some Czech hockey player at the airport yesterday. So you did wish him luck, but secretly he said not too much luck.
A unique aspect of these games is how spread out the events are. Organizers wanted to use existing infrastructure as much as possible, but this means no central hub.
It's missing a little bit of snow, to be honest. Canada would be better to host them, but it's nice to be in the city. I feel like in the mountains will feel like more of the Winter Olympics.
I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more like fan zones here, and I didn't quite see that, but maybe they're just spread out more through like Cortina and Livigno, so we'll see.
Competitions are taking place all over northern Italy, making this the most widespread Olympic sports setup in history. The games will span over 22,000 square kilometers. A trip between Milan and Cortina could take upwards of 6 hours. It means not all of Team Canada's athletes will be in the same village or region throughout the games.
You know, giving a high five to an athlete in another sport, or even the gentle smile when you're under such pressure, can make a huge difference.
Olympic champion and Canada's chef de mission Jennifer Heil admits it will be a different experience, but the team is turning to technology with video chats and highlight reels to help unite them.
I think there's a trade-off between, the positive and the negative. I think for the Olympic movement, it's very positive that we're going to venues that already exist that make it more sustainable and easier to host.
The last time Italy hosted the Winter Games in Turin 2006, medal ceremonies were held in the center of the city each day, creating a buzz, adding to the Olympic spirit. Because of the distance, this year, medal ceremonies will be held at the venues following the competitions. Heather Butts, CTV News, Milan.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Colleen Brady now back with your complete Skywatch forecast. And the weekend getting off to a bit of a cool start, but it's all going to work out just fine.
Yeah, actually from here on in, the temperatures are on the upswing across much of the province, certainly across the south. It's been a little cloudier today out in the southwest. We were basking in the sunshine here in the southeast and in much of northern Manitoba, northwestern Ontario as well. Speaking of which, I'll zoom in on Winnipeg and show you a little bit cloudy. You can see the wind still coming at a pretty good clip into the city out of the northeast. Further east into northwestern Ontario, it's clear there, slower winds, and in the north, cloudy around Lynn Lake, Thompson, still clear. That's going to change overnight because there is, yes, more snow heading northern Manitoba's way. A couple things happening. Shifting east, we have milder air over Saskatchewan. That will slowly slide east into Manitoba over the next several hours as a surface ridge of high pressure slips on out of Manitoba and into Ontario. We'll see temperatures rise in parts of the north as well. Not everywhere, but you can see as we get into this evening that the first of that little bit of snow starts to pop into west central parts of the province, up into the northwest throughout really the latter part of this evening and overnight. But you can see the effect of that milder air out over Saskatchewan, where that snow transitions right here to that pink, which is freezing rain. So there's the possibility some of that freezing rain could make its way into Manitoba. And after we had those mild temperatures yesterday, as you well know, I'm sure, it was quite slippery today. So that could exacerbate things to a certain extent. You can see here as we get into the early part of tomorrow afternoon, as that snow extends through central and northern parts of the province, there is the potential for freezing rain over the southwest. As we get a little later on into the afternoon, that possibility of a flurries or a little bit of freezing rain starts to shift here into the Red River Valley. Meanwhile, some of that snow kind of peters out, but there is a stronger low pressure system that will bring another round of snow, more of it, to northern Manitoba before the weekend's through. Meanwhile, late Saturday night, pretty much like a blanket, cloudy all across Manitoba and northwestern Ontario. Into Sunday morning we go, and here comes this next more potent low pressure system that, in a very general sense, will deliver 5-10 centimeters across the northern half of the province, and once again along that southern flank there's that transition to freezing rain. So for tonight for Winnipeg, you see the asterisk that tells you temperatures will be rising throughout the night. We should land at about -13 by early morning. Increasing clouds overnight as the south winds start to strengthen overnight as well. Still strong, those south winds in the morning. Cloudy Saturday morning, -12 degrees. We go up to -6 again with that chance of flurries or freezing rain coming through. Winds increasing too out of the southeast at 40 with wind gusts as high as 60 kilometers an hour. Especially late tonight, you'll cloud over in the northeast as cold as -31 for Churchill, not far behind across the rest of the region. Overnight, likely to see snow in Thompson first. It will continue tomorrow, -13 as the high. It will spread further east across northeastern Manitoba. Snow arriving late tonight across the northwest. Temperatures rising throughout the night. And that snow finishes first for Flin Flon and the Paw, -8 in those areas, but it will continue in Lynn Lake and over in Norway House. Cloudy especially, well, it's already cloudy out in the southwest, but even more so overnight tonight. Temperatures rising to -11 around the region, including in Brandon and Dauphin. Cloudy tomorrow, as mild as -3 for Brandon, Dauphin -5. Winnipeg in the southeast, cloudy overnight. Temperatures rising overnight, except for Sprague, dropping to -20, but we rise to -13 here. Highs in the -single digits tomorrow, -6 for Winnipeg. Cloudy tonight, at least this evening in northwestern Ontario, but all the way down into the mid-20s. The best chance of snow in the region tomorrow is around Dryden with a high of -12. Our first weather photo takes us up to beautiful northwestern Manitoba, right around Sheridan. That photo is from Clifford. He said the temperature on his truck registered -31 degrees there. And Darlene sent this photo. She talked about the winter sheen you can see off the snow. Again, so warm yesterday, and you can see that shiny effect on the snow today when it was cooler. Send us your weather photos to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Colleen. The Winter Olympics aren't the only big sports spectacle happening this weekend. The Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots are preparing for Super Bowl 60 this Sunday. Quarterback Drake May will lead the charge for New England. The Patriots are searching for the franchise's 7th championship, but they're considered underdogs against Sam Darnold and the Seahawks, who are hunting for a 2nd Super Bowl win. The big game happens Sunday night, and you can catch it right here on CTV.
We've taken it upon ourselves to help educate those on the wider audience so that they realize that Black history is a part of Canadian history.
Black History Month is here. Coming up, we're going to learn about some of the events happening in Manitoba. February is Black History Month, a time to celebrate the many contributions Black Canadians have had on our history and culture. So joining me now to reflect on that and share some of the many ways you can mark Black History Month this year is Nadia Thompson, Chairperson and Program Director for Black History Month Manitoba. Nadia, great to speak with you.
Thank you for having us.
Let's start with this year's theme. What is the focus this year and why was it chosen?
Well, our focus this year is actually we're celebrating 45 years here in Manitoba. So back in '81 is when that small group of folks decided to take on this humongous task of celebrating Black History Month here in Winnipeg. And it's been growing, and this is where we're at after 45 years. We're bigger and better, and we're just so appreciative to the whole city and province for taking us on and supporting us so much throughout the years. We're also celebrating a century and internationally of the recognition of Black History Month.
Can you give us an idea of how our awareness here in Manitoba has changed over the 45 years we've been marking Black History Month in this province?
I think the awareness has grown so much that we have so many different supporters and allies, and it's just such a bigger event. There's so many different organizations, schools, and businesses that are recognizing Black history now that didn't before. So whatever we're doing, I think we're doing it well, and I think we can just grow and be more and more effective in the city to combat the discrimination, racism, and the lack of Black history within our curriculum and throughout our city.
You know, many Manitobans may not even realize just how historically rooted Black culture is in our province. Can you share a bit of that history with us?
Well, we always talk about the fact that there's a lot of the similarities within all different cultural backgrounds and histories, that we have to kind of sometimes recognize the similarities more than the differences. So when we're talking about fur trade, we're talking about Underground Railroad, we're talking about slavery, we're talking about the Winnipeg strike, we're talking about the porters and all these other things that it's just we fail to educate our young people within the school system. So we've taken it upon ourselves to help educate those on the wider audience so that they realize that Black history is a part of Canadian history.
You know, Manitoba hosts many Black cultures, and just a few years ago, I think I read that the Prairies was actually seen as the fastest growing Black population in Canada. Can you share some of the communities that are represented here in our province?
We have so many, like the amount of because they're coming up here for the amount of people coming up here student-wise, just families coming to start a new life here in Canada. Manitoba, it just seems to be so engaging and so economically sound that is a great highlight for people to come here. The universities and colleges and trade schools that we have, just the opportunity that we give, and just the people of Manitoba are so welcoming and so warm. They are just embracing those different cultures so wholeheartedly that it just makes Manitoba a wonderful place to live.
And it makes,
so we have people from everywhere.
Yeah, and it makes our Black History Month activities and events really top notch, right? I know you're heading them all up. For those watching right now who want to get involved in Black History Month, what's the best way? How can they mark this month?
I think you can go onto our website, bhmwinnipeg.com, and check out the different events. We have events that are being put on by Black History Manitoba, but also various different organizations all throughout. And we're talking about education, and we're talking about markets, we're talking about fashion, we're talking about book fairs and legal seminars. We have everything. So there's so many things going on. I encourage people to go on the website, go on IG or on Facebook and find out what's going on, and bring your family and friends and encourage people to support.
The fashion, the music, my favorite, the food. We need a whole month to take it all in. Nadia, thanks so much for your time tonight. Great speaking with you.
Thank you so much, too. Have a great day.
The federal government is reviving a bill which would allow health records to be shared across Canada.
It's really a great news. It's great news for doctors, for nurses, for patients.
The Liberals have reintroduced the Connected Care for Canadians Act. It was originally proposed in June of 2024 and is aimed at addressing the lack of common standards and incompatibility by various systems used by doctors, hospitals, and clinics across the country. If passed, the new law would allow digital health information to be shared safely across systems. There's a potential breakthrough in the fight against ovarian cancer. It's a new surgical innovation which could cut the risk significantly. CTV's Dimitra Maragos has more on the promising approach that could impact the future of the disease.
A major development in ovarian cancer prevention.
We're all actually quite astounded.
This research is important because it will save women's lives.
Findings from the new study, led by a BC-based international collaboration called the Ovarian Cancer Observatory, show opportunistic salpingectomy, or OS, a procedure invented in BC which removes the fallopian tubes while keeping a person's ovaries will
reduce their risk of developing ovarian cancer by 80%.
Researchers reviewed more than 85,000 BC surgical records that spanned more than a decade and found people who had OS were far less likely to develop the deadliest form of ovarian cancer.
Preventing it from happening in the first place saves lives.
Dr. Huntsman explains.
By removing the fallopian tubes and leaving the ovaries behind, we get this cancer reduction benefit, but without all of those challenges.
A newfound hope against this deadly cancer.
Ovarian cancer is the 5th leading cause of death in women.
Data from UBC shows ovarian cancer is the most lethal gynecological cancer. Approximately 3,100 Canadians are diagnosed with the disease each year. Dr. Hanley says if patients are looking to get it done,
it's entirely based around having another surgical opportunity to remove the fallopian tubes and to reduce ovarian cancer risk.
But adds,
right now working with all of the general surgeons in the province, and they are beginning to offer this during general surgery as well.
Dimitra Maragos, CTV News, Vancouver.
There's a new reason to consider the Mediterranean diet. A long-term study published Wednesday found the plant-forward eating style may lower stroke risk for women. Researchers followed more than 100,000 women who were part of a study that began in 1995. Those who ate a Mediterranean diet were 18% less likely to have any type of stroke. The diet emphasizes vegetables, fruits, beans, nuts, fish, and olive oil. It limits consuming meat and dairy and allows for moderate alcohol consumption. Past studies have found the Mediterranean diet may lower the risk for dementia, gum disease, depression, breast cancer, and diabetes. This new research was published in the journal Neurology Open Access.
Medical Watch is brought to you by Manuke and Koster Denture Clinic.
A three-time Juno nominee teams up with the WSO. Those details next in Spotlight.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting American rock legends.
The Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra is taking the stage tonight for an evening celebrating French music. And the orchestra is being joined by a special guest at Centennial Concert Hall. Three-time Juno Award nominee Jill Barber will be joining the WSO, taking on timeless songs by Edith Piaf, Jacques Brel, and more.
The whole idea is to transport people to Paris, under Paris skies, for an evening. It's a little bit of escapism and a chance for people to close their eyes, sit back, and just let the symphony orchestra wash over them and feel a little bit like they're in a different time, a different place, and a different headspace.
Showtime for Jill Barber, Under Paris Skies, is at 7:30 this evening. You'll have to act quickly. Some tickets are still up for grabs. Tickets can be purchased at the WSO's box office. A comedy that pulls at the heartstrings is making its world premiere at Royal Manitoba Theatre Centre.
If you fill out the form now, you should start receiving supplies. The doctor has to fill it out. Oh, it just needs to be signed by a specialist.
And a nurse practitioner.
Holland follows the journey of parents caring for a child with a disability and the tribulations they face as they battle the system. The play was inspired by local playwright Trish Cooper's own personal experience navigating the healthcare system and advocating for her son. But Cooper says the themes it touches upon are universal.
It overlaps with a disability story, even though it's kind of more of a caregiver story. But it's also just a comedy. So I think people who don't necessarily have those experiences will also relate. I think everyone can relate to, being frustrated by bureaucracy and being in a family and loving your family and wanting to do what's right for them.
Holland is already underway and goes until February 21st at the Tom Hendry Warehouse. You can snag tickets online at royalmtc.ca. Well, if you like big sounds, big trucks, and the smell of fuel, then the Ram Motorsports Spectacular will bring you all the action you need.
It'll be a big show, and we've got 7 monster trucks and all that sort of thing. But the thing that's a whole lot of fun that I always love is the fact of the pit party. When you bring kids down to the floor to see monster trucks up close and in person, it's a whole different experience.
The Monster Truck Challenge is coming to Canada Life Centre for 2 shows, Saturday and Sunday. The event will feature racing, freestyle motocross, and more. Fans can also expect 5-time Canadian champion Marvin Anderson to tear up the track in a 4-wheeler.
You'll see everything you can imagine. Well, if you've never seen freestyle motocross, a 250-pound dirt bike flying 30 feet in the air, pulling out the most amazing tricks you've ever seen, like backflips, you got to see that one live.
That's cute. Tickets for the spectacular are available at Ticketmaster.ca. Well, some Taylor Swift fans are getting an early look at her newest music video. That's Swift's song Opalite. It's the second from her album Life of a Showgirl to get a music video, but at the moment it's the only available to view on some music streaming services. Swift shared some images from the shoot showing her alongside actor Domhnall Gleeson, fellow singer Louis Capaldi, and TV show host Graham Norton, among other special guests. The video will be shared publicly on Sunday. Circle your calendar, Swifties. Kick off your Friday primetime lineup with Celebrity Wheel of Fortune at 7. St. Denis Medical and Stumble come next at 8. Boston Blue winds things up at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Minus 16 degrees in Winnipeg, partly cloudy with those winds out of the northeast at 12 kilometers an hour. The wind chill feels like minus 23 degrees, or minus 23, pardon me, not degrees, just minus 23. Minus 5, that's an important distinction, folks, in meteorology. Minus 5 was our highest temperature of the day. Minus 16, yeah, it's minus 16 now, but technically it was a little colder when it was minus 16.4 earlier today. It's a balmy minus 16.1 now. Well, hey, temperatures are rising throughout the night, up to minus 13, increasing clouds, minus 6 on Saturday, minus 1 Sunday, cloudy, and then mild week next week.
Thanks, Colleen. A visit to a Western Manitoba community could land you in jail without the criminal record. Check this out. This former Westman RCMP detachment in McCreary has been converted into an Airbnb property. And owner Rosie Peliquin tells CTV News the jailhouse features 2 bedrooms in the old cells with enough beds for 6 inmates. It also has a full kitchen, bathroom, indoor parking space, and outdoor patio area. The listing says you can check off a night in the slammer from your bucket list while enjoying all the benefits and not the criminal record, which is important.
Hopefully.
Yeah, which is important.
Hopefully. And McCreary, also the warmest place in Manitoba yesterday. You have it all, McCreary.
There you go.
You do.
All right, have a great weekend. Stay safe. We'll see you back here Monday.